One fatal car wreck killed 5 of his family members. Mason Sawyer lost his wife, his daughter, a son, his nephew, and his brother. And this is what I learned from talking to him. Comparison is the thief of grief. Mason lost 5 family members in one car wreck. Now, I lost my father on September 11th when I was young, and even from looking at a story like his, it's easy for me to think, yeah, I lost my dad, but he lost 5 family members. And he was the one in this episode that told me how important it is not to compare traumas. He explains to me that we're all feeling pain. We're all going through it. We should be helping each other instead of comparing and measuring whose trauma is worse and feeling guilty that on paper someone's trauma looks worse, but we're all still feeling pain and we all still need help. So I thought it was amazing how his focus was to get each other through things and not to use a measuring stick and try to compare the pain and compare whose is worse. It's hard for me not to think, I lost my dad, but holy shit, look what this guy gone through. And in some way it minimizes our own experience. And from his perspective, he does not think we should do that. And I thought that was so beautiful to look in the perspective of someone who's gone through that when, yes, on paper, it does seem so much worse. But he was so wise and compassionate to say, no, we're all feeling pain. We're all going through this. Stop comparing, because comparison is the thief of grief. Trauma makes you selfish. Mason pointed out how selfish he felt going through trauma. It's not pointing out that it was right or wrong to feel that way. I think he was just pointing out that when you are going through trauma, you start maybe seeming a little selfish because all you can think about is your pain. And that makes sense. You're not thinking about other people's pain because you're so in it that it's hard to focus on what other people are going through because you're in your own misery. And I thought that was a really interesting point. And the counter aspect of him making that realization that he felt selfish during his trauma is that it made him focus on other people. It actually forced him to consider other people's feelings. And through that, by focusing on other people, he is now focused on helping other people. And through helping other people unselfishly, it's actually helped him get through what he's had to go through. Yeah, we may feel selfish going through, our own traumatic experience because we got to deal with our own stuff. But he actually learned on the flip that expressing himself by helping others is actually helping him through his own trauma. Time does not heal all wounds, and it does not get better. I agree and disagree at the same time, and we spoke about this, and I think we came to some kind of understanding. And again, it's okay not to understand each other. I can't understand what he's feeling. I haven't gone through what Mason has gone through, but he came out so passionately that time does not heal all wounds, and that he still feels the pain. And that makes sense. I'm not sure if the pain ever truly goes away, but I came at him saying, I think time does heal wounds in some ways, and we do get better. Pain may not go away, but the way I see it is we get better at responding. Sometimes when you're going through trauma, if you've lost someone, at least from my own experience, it might take a week. You're just knocked out. You can't do anything. You feel terribly sad. But maybe 10 months down the line, maybe a couple years down the line, however long it may take, that timeline might shrink. Does that make sense? You may feel shitty for a week one time, but then as time continues to heal, as you start making the motions and the actions to actually get better, hopefully, maybe next time it only takes 24 hours. Maybe the time after that, it's a few hours. And then eventually you start improving and start minimizing those gaps of feeling shitty, and your response mechanism gets a little better. Mason is only 20 months into this incredibly traumatic event where he lost his family, and I don't have answers. I don't have answers. When he actually asked me what he could do, I couldn't tell him anything because I think he has to figure it out. He has to go through it. I think that's exactly what he's doing. Mason found incredible healing in helping other people, and I think that's a beautiful thing. He's spending his time in talking and venting, which has helped him, and he's helping other people, and through those actions of helping others, it in turn has helped him. What I can take from Mason is that through his acts of service, he is in turn helping himself. So if you're not sure what to do, maybe help others and see how that feels for you.